Welcome back. Thanks for coming. Tripod leg is broken. You ever have that on your tripod? The leg, one leg just gets loose. Happens to me all the time. It's the Hotline Show. February 2nd, 2025 is the date. It is the 48th one. Phone call. Give me 1 second. Let me see who this is. Hello?
Noah, how's it going? It looks cold up there.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you should have come down with me to St. Barth's. It's glorious down here this time of year.
Yeah, no, it's nice down there, but I just can't make it happen. I got too much going on up here.
Oh, yeah, I know. Listen, I want to give your listeners a little stock tip. Buy Melania coin.
No, nobody should buy that. That's a scam. I've read about it on Blue Sky.
No. Don't listen to them. I'm telling you. It's super hot right now. You're going to make a ton of money. All right. Stay poor.
Okay, I gotta go, man. I just sat down to record.
Okay, I got to go too. I'm bringing the kids scuba diving. All right. Peace.
Okay, bye.
How do you turn this thing off?
Damn it, I hate that guy. Well, where were we? Like I said, it's the Hotline Show. If you don't know, people call, they leave a message. The number is in the description below. You can also record a voice memo on your phone if you want higher quality. You can ask about anything, or tell me a story, or maybe tell me a joke. Something. Anything. We do have a lot of calls. I've got maybe just 4 today, but we got some banked, but I always love to stir in more new ones, old ones, so keep them coming. You know what to do. It's right there below. We've talked a lot about mayonnaise on the show, and I think it came up from Peter from Germany. He called and asked about mayonnaise, which, by the way, Peter has not called in a number of weeks now, and a lot of us are getting a little nervous about what happened to him. So hopefully he calls back. Peter, if you're watching, are you okay? Peter asked about mayonnaise. I don't like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is like a trigger for me whenever I see it. And just the other day, this Super Bowl commercial came out. The Harry Met Sally Super Bowl commercial. Did you see this? I'm going to play it right now. Look at this. It's awful. Watch.
I can't believe they let us back in this place.
Why?
Hello?
Nobody remembers that.
Something wrong?
It's not doing it.
No good?
Nothing.
Well, we can't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
What's happening? Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
So good. It's just. Woo.
Oh. This one's real.
Yes.
Lunch and a show, huh? How about that?
You know, that's actually a funny line. Lunch in a show. Has anyone ever had an orgasm eating mayonnaise? That's disgusting. If you have, call the number. It's in the description below. But maybe they're in on the joke, that it's so disgusting that that would never happen. That's the irony of it. What else is going on this week? Well, a lot has been going on. Speakers, tripods, lots of stuff. You might have seen it if you follow my other channels, and I'm not going to get into all of it now because it's just way too much and we've got calls to get to. But I have been thinking a lot about portraits of photographers with cameras. I brought this up in the past and I just can't get it out of my mind. I think I'm going to do a newsletter about it, maybe this coming week. But I randomly came across this commercial that I did a little while ago. It was for the backpack company Incase. And it's not I did, I'm literally in it. Watch. It's just a little short thing. Look at that at the end, that portrait of me with my camera. And I'm holding my original medium format camera. This must be 10 years old at this point, maybe only a year or two after I moved up here. That's phase 1 camera, but the original one, not the XF and the P65 Plus back. So we're going back a little bit. And look at that. Look at how cool I look with the camera. And that's the thing, right? Like, there's 3 ways you can do a photographer with their camera picture. Photographer shooting pictures, which we saw in there. I was shooting, so that was someone photographing me photographing. And that's a thing, but that's like documentary. That's not necessarily like a portrait. It's the act. It's whatever. Then there's the portrait itself, where it's set up, it's established, where me and you were going to make a picture together, and you're going to take a picture of me, and here I am with my camera. Cutting in here right now because I just found a picture I took of the director, Zach McTee. Take a look at this. Portrait of a photographer, director, filmmaker. Look at that. Red camera. Very cool. I also just realized that Incase is like just in case. I had that bag for 8 years. I don't ever think I put that together. Anyway, I feel like that's the most rare version because most of the time people take photos of photographers. It's taking a photo of a photographer taking a picture. So it's not really like a portrait. I think we should do more portraits of photographers and their cameras. The third thing, by the way, is a self-portrait of a photographer holding their camera, and usually it's done in a mirror. You can find tons of those self-portraits. I want to see more portraits by photographers of photographers with their camera. So let's all work on that together. Send in your work when you get it. One problem with that is photographers, there's a reason they're behind the camera. They usually do not like having their picture taken. And as a result, they just tend to not want to pose with their camera. But I think if you're hesitant, first of all, get over it. You're fine. You look fine. It's only in your head. And you will not regret it 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road. Think long term about everything you make and do, because it just gets better over time. There's no one's like, oh, I wish there were less photos of me when I was younger with my camera that I don't use anymore. Anyway, we got 4 calls today. Bryan.
Hey, Noah, it's Bryan in Minneapolis. Here's my camera in case anyone cares. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. So I did finish all 3 episodes, and I have to say, by the time I got to the 3rd episode, it was a little strange, but I do appreciate a few of those shout-outs there, and it was very interesting to see the drone footage from that day where we recorded the LPV show. It was a great day. I don't remember the conversation. I've never listened to the episode, and I probably never will, but maybe some people will like it, or maybe they won't. I did like your dad's kind of call out to me on meditation or taking care of yourself and living into old age and being able to walk. And I totally agree with him. I'm on board. I'm very curious what he thinks about meditation and walking and, how the rhythm of walking helps you meditate and stay mindful. See what he says about that. Into that kind of art and photo. I like the idea of the photo mind. That's really super interesting, and how you develop that over time. For me, I think it's important to, absorb other forms of art and just keep, learning about your subject matter. And then for me, it all becomes part of that research, because I do believe photography is a learning tool. Art is a learning tool. And if, you're not out there, trying to learn something, then, what's the point? So, maybe some people disagree with that. Maybe it's you just do it for fun or whatever. But, I do think going to the museums is really important, because I don't know. Do you think we're going to have art museums in 5 years, 10 years, given the way things are going? I don't know. I'd be curious what you have to say about that, or, anything else about learning other forms of art. So appreciate taking my calls and taking this video. Thanks, man.
Bryan, thanks for calling and sending the video. Much appreciated. Appreciate your perspective all the time. Call anytime. You're always welcome on the show. It's funny. I never listened to that episode either. Back then, when I would do things like that, I would never listen. I was like allergic to wanting to hear myself ever. I eventually got over that, and now I actually kind of enjoy it, which is weird. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that you didn't listen to your own show. I feel like you kind of have to. I know you had an editor on that, but it's fine. Like, you get over it, and then you learn from it. And like you said, art is a learning tool, and not only when you're out there exploring and yes, learning. Absolutely. I think that's a really good point, is when you're out there doing stuff, and this happens with photography all the time. And one of the best things about it, and especially with my career, it's like getting into situations I never would have gotten into because of the access that the camera gave me. And it's entering new worlds where I see and meet new people, see new places, and just learn. And then hopefully make a discovery, a photograph that I can share with other people, and they learn, pass that knowledge down. So you're right. Art is a learning tool. Museums. Yeah, we'll still have them. I mean, obviously, like, public funding, government funding of art is certainly going away, but it has for a long time. I mean, the United States has underfunded the arts for as long as I've known. I feel like these like tech billionaire people are ignoring the arts. Like, used to be when rich people got really wealthy, they'd support the arts, they'd commission it, they'd create museums or like help fund museums. Are they doing that? Elon Musk isn't doing it, I don't think. I'm pretty certain he isn't. Is Mark doing it? I don't know. I don't think so, but they should. Like, if you're going to have that money, that's what you need to do. And that's what, in the United States, that's what we kind of say that we want, right? Private funding instead of government funding. But this is exactly why that doesn't work, because ultimately they don't do it. And we're all poorer because of that. So it's just another reason why the US is fucking sucking shit right now. But it has for a while. So kind of nothing new, but also getting worse. Hopefully there will be museums. I don't think these places are shutting down. But maybe the government will shut them down. I don't know. Hope not. Bryan, thank you so much. Next caller.
Hey, Noah. I have two questions. One, what are your takes on therapy? Traditional therapy, talk therapy, and then do you have other therapeutic practices that you've practiced in your life? And the next is nostalgia as it relates to your art. Nostalgia for the way you used to make art, or where you used to make art. How is that? Nostalgia for your old art practice, or nostalgia as a more global theme in your art, in art in general. Love to hear your thoughts. Love your show. Bye.
Thanks for that call. You didn't say your name, but I know who you are, Tom, my old neighbor from Williamsburg, and one of my favorite musicians. In fact, I don't know, you go by Masisa. I'll put a link in the description below. One of my favorite records of all time that you put out, for real. I still listen to it to this day. Now, therapy. Yes, good. My dad is a therapist. My stepmother is a therapist. It's been in my family, I guess, so I'm well aware of the practice. They're both psychologists, so talk therapy, and they help a lot of people, and I think it's good. Personally, I've never been to therapy. Should I have gone, or should I go? Yeah, maybe. But I don't, and I haven't. But maybe I will one day. But obviously I have no problem with it. I think it's good and obviously helps a lot of people. As far as like non-traditional or different kinds of therapy, massage therapy. I love getting a massage. I used to do it all the time in the city. I don't as much anymore. When I was traveling a lot, like busy, like travel photographer person, sometimes I'd just do it on the road just to relax. Just think that's like a great thing for people to do. Can be weird sometimes, but that's kind of part of the excitement. And, sometimes it's actually more stressful. What else is there? Sound bathing therapy. That's good. I think people should experiment for what works for themselves. So much stuff that can help. Now, in terms of the nostalgia stuff, I never used to be nostalgic. Like, I always thought about going forward. I never wanted to look back, like, for real. Like, I didn't like old things. I like things now. When it comes to photography, I don't like shooting film I did, but then I just wanted to move forward, and I didn't like the idea of shooting things to make things look like they were older. I like making things that look like they're made right now, because in 10 years or 20 years, I want to look back and be like, oh, that was obviously made in the year 2025. Not when is that made? Or, obviously this depends, because it's like, what's the work about? But I feel like my work, at least the way I have practiced it, I wanted it to feel like modern. That said, maybe it's because I'm a little older now, or getting older. I've been looking back on a lot of my work and just referencing it. In fact, I use this software now called Excire. I'll put a link in the description below. They've talked to me about sponsoring. Not sponsored yet, but maybe. It is an affiliate link, though, so there's that. But I've put this software, I've run this software on my computer, and as a result, like, I can search my entire hard drive, my NAS, like, it's like some 60, 70, 80 terabytes of photographs, millions, literally, like 1.4 million photos. And I can search stuff, and I'll do a keyword search and see all this old stuff. And yeah, my old practice, like what I used to do when I was in this city and how that work looked. And I like it and I hate it. It sort of makes me feel bad sometimes. Like, I see so much missed opportunity and choices I made. Photography is sort of a sad medium if you give it enough time. It's really been slightly depressing to me. Just also looking back on those younger years, like, there's just lots of baggage there. Is this nostalgia? I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily long for that, but I sort of maybe just long for youth, or being slightly more youthful, more fun, more free. Not like I'm not any of those things. I'm very, very fun. Look at how fun I am. Tom, thank you so much. Call back anytime. Let's work on something together soon. Next caller. Oh no. This call kind of sucks. It's more my answer than the question, but the question wasn't even that good. We did get a call from First Class Brad last night after I recorded. Let's play that now instead.
Hey, Noah. It's Brad from First Class. I'm rushing through the parking lot of the airport, hustling to make my first class flight. I just got a very disturbing email from the first class section of my plane that said that, unfortunately, hello, that was a very nice person. The airline said that my meal preference is not available. I ordered the vegetarian omelet, but I guess the price of eggs has gone up. Have you heard about this? What do you think about the price of eggs right now? I'm furious. Call me back, Brad from First Class.
Price of eggs. Yeah, this is a good question. Why don't we go outside and look at the chickens and talk about it? We'll get to the bottom of this. Let's go. Let's go right here. Okay. Guys. Oh, wait. Shit. Can you guys see the chickens? Well, let me first start by saying the current flock right here is there's 12 birds here, there's 2 over there, and there's a couple in the house. So got about 18 chickens, I think. And I get my own eggs, right? A couple a day, winter, it all depends on the breed and the time of year. It's winter, so they're not laying all that many, but like someone like Jay right here, she lays all winter long.
Jay. What was I saying? The price of eggs. Now, there's bird flu happening, and it's killing large flocks of factory poultry. Now, because of that, there's less eggs in production, and as a result, the price of eggs is going up. All I can say about my flock here is I have not been leaving food in the run, trying to feed them elsewhere, because this food attracts other birds that are flying from other places, and they might contaminate my birds with the bird flu. I'm hoping far enough away from any of the flocks that are currently contagious that the odds of this flock right here contracting bird flu is rare. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I hope not. I love these birds. Look at them. They're crazy. Like, look at this one. Look at this one. They're also, I mean, it's freezing outside, but they're so warm. Like, I'm holding it like this. And my hand, it's like a glove. It's a feather glove. That's the price of eggs. Let's go back inside. I'm freezing. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Thank you so much for that call. Let's do one more.
Hi Noah, it's Irv from the south of England. Long-time listener, love the Hotline show, love your newsletter and all your images. Just one question. At the end of each of your newsletters, you have a credit for Kristen Neufeld and Zach Vitale. So I just wondered why, what their input is. Apologies if you've covered this in a previous Hotline show. Look forward to hearing about them. Bye.
Irv, thank you for that call. Appreciate that. Newsletter question. Yeah. Kristen and Zach. So Kristen edits the newsletter. She's my copy editor. So I'll make a draft, and when I'm done, I'll send it to her, and then she helps craft it. I mean, there's grammar, and then there's also story structure. So believe it or not, I don't do the newsletter entirely by myself. I've had help. And before Kristen, there was actually Julia, and she did like the first couple, like 100 and something. I think Julia initially approached me years ago because she was like, your grammar's fucked up. Like, do you need help? So she came in and started helping me with that. And then now Julia left, and I found Kristen, who's actually a neighbor and professional copywriter, and she's amazing and really, truly helps juice up my stuff. With Zach's one of my oldest photo friends. It's funny, he wrote me many, many years ago because he did a website, Tumblr, called One Tiny Hand. I don't know if you are familiar with this, but he wrote me to ask permission to use one of my photos that he would turn into a One Tiny Hand image. And it was actually this photo of Aziz Ansari and Anna Marie Tendler that I took. And I'll try to find it and put it in here. But he wrote this really just amazing email asking permission and being like really super respectful of photography. And I just thought it was so good. And from that, we just sort of kept in touch. And now we're just like really great friends. We actually have a Slack channel that him and I talk almost every day. And we don't work together all that much, mostly because the projects I do don't require his expertise. He's mostly food, but he's done stuff like my MoMA projects. He's done other big stuff. When I budget, I ask him for help to do the post-production. But he gets a credit just because I will run most everything by him, just to get the thumbs up from him. And it just has become a run-on joke, like the little blurb. So we change it every week. And I started doing that with Kristen too. And before that, Julia, just like instead of it being like, Kristen edits this, we just like give it something else. So it's fun. And I don't know how many people actually notice or care about those, but it's just like a run-on thing, and they're always different week to week. So Irv, thank you so much for that call. I appreciate it. That's the show. We did it. Another week. We're still here. We're going. Are you having fun? We got so much coming up. I think. We'll see. Anything can happen. But until then, take it easy. Do the stuff. Like, subscribe. And I'll see you next week. Maybe.